What's going on, Shift Youth? So this is Brad, obviously. I don't know if you remember, a while back had actually started a weekly leader thought or leader lesson, and we wanted to start that up again. So this is our first one back at it, and I wanted to share with you guys a quick little scripture. Music is going. I wanted to share with you guys some scripture, and then just kind of my thoughts around that. And then if you have thoughts or questions or anything like that, feel free to put them in the comments below. So our verse, I'm going to read it to you guys, comes from the book of Matthew, which is actually the first book of the New Testament. And Matthew was one of the disciples, and this was just basically his recounts of his time with Jesus. And so Jesus was actually the one who said this. And it is Matthew chapter 6, verse 21. It says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will also be." So first looking at it, you wonder treasure, because I'm like, I don't have any treasure. Like, I'm not a pirate. I don't have any jewelry other than like my wedding ring. I've never been a jewelry guy. And so you're like, what does it mean by treasure? And so kind of thinking of it in modern terms, it's sort of like where you keep the things that you value. What are the important things to you? So for some people, that might be money, physical money. For some people, that might be their family. For hopefully some people, especially believers, it's God. It's your faith. And so it's talking about wherever you put your value, whether that's literally, I stick my money under my bed, or figuratively, I care most about my car, then that is where your heart is going to be. That is where you're going to put the most care. And so it's really important to think about where are you putting that value? Because if you're putting it in things like a car, you're going to be disappointed, because the reality is a car doesn't last forever. They break down. You have to sell it. Just like people, if you put all your value in people, even great people like our leaders, we're going to, leave at some point. We're going to mess up at some point. And so it's really important to just be aware of where you put value, where you put your treasures, because that is where your heart is going to be. That is where you're going to care. So are you putting your value, are you putting your treasure in the right place, or are you putting it in somewhere that is going to let you down? So I encourage you guys to think about that, especially right now with COVID, with so many things going on. It's a really good opportunity to just stop and think about, what do I value? What is really important right now? And what can I probably do without, or have managed to do without for the last, almost year, for the last 10 months, and been okay? And so I encourage you guys to think on that, to meditate on that, and to pray on that. And that is my prayer for you guys, that you can figure out where you put your values. And if they're not the right thing or they're questionable, I encourage you to reevaluate, because that's the great thing, is you can always change. You can change things. You can change your attitude. So that's my thought. That's what I leave you guys with. Hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully you tune in next week for another leader. Have a good one.